All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Uh, there are a few people in the group right now who've done Goa before, or they've been, in Goa either last year. Just seen how things going on. So you might find things repetitive. So I would love to have your inputs as well, so that for the benefit of people who are doing it for the first time, it'll be helpful. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break this whole session in two different calls where in today's call, we're going to look at a general overview about the race, the course, the race conditions, that's the weather and the temperature, the gradients. We're going to add a little bit to that. We're also going to be talking about the logistics bit of when to be there and what to take care of and how the agenda of that week would look like so that everybody's settled in. In the next call, we're going to be picking up a lot on our fueling, specifically on the race day, so that we start building up well in advance to the race. The weather is going to be hot and humid, so we need to be well prepared. So we're going to cover that because it will be a little detailed discussion. So I don't want to pack up everything in one call. So we will pick that up then. All right. So quick overview. I'm sure everybody is aware of the distance 1.9, 90, 21. We're looking at a hot weather condition. Temperatures would be anywhere from around 28 to 32. So it's going to be hot and sunny. It is later in the year compared to when we've been racing. So we've been racing early October, mid-October. So this time we're a little later. Water temperature they've given is about 28 degrees. So be prepared for the water to be nice and fresh. But when you come out, it's going to be sunny and hot and humid. Uh, Looking at the route, they haven't given the route which is there for this year. But what they're going to be looking at, what we'll go through is the last year's route. I will just open that. Give me a minute. Let me just open all the maps for a minute. And sorry for this little lag, guys. My laptop is acting all funny for the last couple of days. And sorry, I'll open. Can you see my screen?
Yep, something red.
Something
Yes.
red, yeah. Yeah, I know this. What I had downloaded is not opening, so I'll quickly just open. So quickly going through the swim. Uh, what you see, this blue is your holding area. So what's going to happen is that at the time of registration, you would have certainly given in your estimated finish time. So based on that, you're going to be getting a colored cap. That colored cap would mean what time you've given, and you will be placed in a holding area. So what the holding area would mean is there will be certain demarcated area where the athletes are going to enter sections where based on your timing, you will be standing in that section. And there's going to be a rolling start, starting with the fastest swimmers first, and then we're going to start sending in at an average, roughly about, I think, 5 to 7 swimmers get in with a time gap of 4 to 5 seconds. That kind of keeps fluctuating around, but that's the general beep. So there will be a rolling start. People will start going in. The course would look something like this. This is last year. Now this is a little tentative thing. It can change, a day before also, depending on the tides, depending on how the water conditions are. But generic, what the course would look like will be something like this. So you're going to get into the water. You will always have buoys in the middle. So you see the yellow, these are your sighting buoys, and your red, what you see is your turning buoys. So you're going to go in. This is last year. You're going to go left, and then you go left. So every time you turn, that will be a big yellow red buoy. There'll be a long perpendicular cylindrical kind of a buoy which will be available for you to sight. So the sighting is very comfortable when you're getting in terms of looking at the big buoy and getting into it.
Coach,
Last
someone's
year,
in the lobby.
sorry,
Someone's waiting to be admitted.
there is nobody
Manish.
here which I can see. Everybody's in. So once you come out, once you've done your 1.9, that is a one loop swim. You have a long run would be roughly about 5 to 700, depending on how the water conditions are. They keep moving it around. So what you see, the black line, which is moving all the way to the red, is your transition. So keep it anywhere from around 500 to 700 meters, running through the sand, heading out to the transition. Whenever you come out of the water, make sure that you are, not rushing through. Heading out to the transition is going to be smooth. It's going to be easy to make sure you keep your heart rate under control. So you swim one loop, come out of it. You're going to be transitioning the uh, to the whole area for about 5 to 700 meters. Your swim cutoff, just to make sure everybody is on the same platform, it's 70 minutes. That means you have to come out of the water within 70 minutes and head out to the transition. Clear? If you have any questions, please keep asking me so that we can take care of it immediately. All right. I'm presuming there aren't. Once you get out of the water, heading out to the transition, you're going to move on to the bike. Where you look at your bike, there will be uh, uh, in our Goa race, generally you would keep all your change under the bike, unlike all the European races where you would use a bag. So what you're going to do is we're going to be placing all our transition areas under it. We will be taking you through to actually teach you how to put it and what would be the sequence of things we're going to look at. So once you're in the transition, once you reach, make sure you start from either top to bottom, bottom to top, means you're going to start with your socks, wear your cleats, or you're using a non-cleated shoes. You're going to come up, you have your sunglasses, you have your helmet. Everything what you need for your cycling has to be on the cycle. Any nutrition, any hydration. So the objective of that transition would be only to change gears, pick up your bike, and head out to the mountain line. What is a mountain line is where you will move out of the transition zone. There'll be a line. You will not be sitting on the saddle before the line. Once you cross the line, you sit on it. So you're not going to be using your transition area to be eating, to be fueling, or to be, stuffing in your pockets. Everything is on the bike. You come there, you make it swift, you make it fast, and you move out. Yeah, that's going to be the sequence of your transition. Once you come out of the transition, you're going to have your cycling route look something like this. The blue line, what you see is a route where you will head out. So the big line on the left, you see S is the start. You're going to move out from here. You're going to go head out completely to a junction where you're going to do a loop at the Mandvi River loop. You're going to go all the way. So whatever you see blue is something you're going to do once. Once you come out of it, you will go all the way to the Mandvi River. There's a U-turn. You come out, and then you will get onto the expressway. You will go all the way till the end. You will cross the Zuari Bridge, the new fancy bridge, which is up on the highway. Come back all the way to that junction and not go left that where the start line was. From here, you will go again to the Mandvi River lane, and that is where you complete one loop. You're going to do two loops of this side, the red line, what you see. So the expressway and the Mandvi River, you're going to be there twice. Once you reach the junction for the second time, this time you're going to take a left and head out to where you started from. That is where your finish is going to be. That is your transition 2. right? Now, important thing for all of you over here would be to understand that where your fueling stations are going to be. Yeah. Ideally, for a 70.3 for a 90-kilometer ride, all athletes, all cyclists should be self-sufficient, means you should have enough fueling, your hydration, and your whatever you want to eat on the bike. Ideally, you should not be stopping on the cycling route unless there is a technical glitch. For any hydration, nutrition, you should be on the move, right? Couple of important things while you're on the cycling routes. No drafting is allowed. All right. When I say drafting means you cannot be behind a cyclist. If you have behind a cyclist, there has to be a 12-meter gap. For any reason, if you are behind one, you have 25 seconds to overtake. And once you overtake him, then it is the rider which you've overtaken, his responsibility to fall back. Then you don't have to worry about him. But you cannot be riding either behind somebody or adjacent to somebody. You have to be maintaining that gap. If you don't maintain that gap, and if a marshal sees you, you're going to get a card, and that card means you will be spending 2 minutes in the penalty zone. Second time you're given a penalty, the third time you're disqualified straight away. So make sure you do not draft. There will be sections where there will be some good fast sections. In total, if I show you the route, there are good, roughly about 4 climbs which you will be experiencing. It's a good climb. We are looking at roughly about 500 plus meters climb. You'll be looking at, that's an elevation gain we are looking at all the way on the expressways. That has some good climbs. So we need to be very mindful of the start line to the junction. It's going to be a narrow lane. There'll be a lot of riders with you. So make sure that you maintain that distance. You have all your senses on all the time so that you do not have any kind of incident on the road when you get out of it. There are some big bumps, and those bumps are with cobbles. So make sure that you're you're careful with that. Once we are in Goa, we're going to be doing a route recce, complete route recce. So you will get comfortable. But just to give you an overview. So remember, we are looking at drafting is a penalty. We're looking at least 25 seconds to overtake, right? Any questions to do with your cycling bit here, guys? So you've done your swim, you've done your cycling. Any questions? Okay, good. Now, once you've finished your route, just make sure that when you reach the transition, before the transition, you remember we talked about the mount online. That is where the mount offline would be. Means you're going to stop the bike before that line, get off the bike, push the bike. So make sure you know where your bike was parked so that you go back and you park your bike in the same place. You're going to quickly change into your running gear. Means you're going to take your helmet, take off your sunglasses, you're going to take off your cycling shoes, start from bottom to top again, wear your running shoes, move up, wear your running bib belt, wear your hat. Remember, it's going to be hot, it's going to be 30 degrees plus sunny. So you need to get used to wearing a hat when you run. Otherwise, it's going to get a little difficult for you. Pick up anything you need in terms of your race nutrition. Again, we're going to be talking about very, very specific race nutrition and the transitions much closer. There will be a strategy which we're working on, but the idea would be to spend minimum time in your transitions. Once you are closer to the race, my recommendation would be to work with your coach, get a target to yourself so that you know you will not be spending a lot of time in the transition. So you exactly know what your actions are going to be. Sachin, yeah, please go ahead. You have a question?
Yeah, actually, this drafting thing and the 12-meter thing,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it works, but if a lot of us enter the water together and presumably a lot of us come out together,
Yeah.
so, we, I guess, get on the bike and we're
Yeah.
on road.
Yeah.
Is it typically like a lot of us are heading out together
Yeah.
and then
See, when you come out of the water and when you take your bike out, you will certainly have a lot of riders alongside you, depending on what is your swim time. If you are one of the faster swimmers, then you'll be the lucky one to ride on your own. But if you're, let's say, in the mid ranges, you will certainly have a lot of riders with you. So yes, the marshals are aware where there are narrow roads. You by default there will be many riders together. And remember, in the narrow roads, the speeds are not going to be high as well. So the drafting would generally be on open roads. So when you hit the expressway, they are wide open, and there will be a lot of space for you to move forward and back. So that is where the marshals would generally start, checking on you. Narrow roads, they would be, that not that much of, a check on you for drafting.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this blue in and out road is where
yeah,
we might cluster together, but rest of the time
yes.
place you think we'll have enough
This
place
is
to
the
space out.
so remember that
And
road where
yeah, or
Sachin, you're breaking up, I think. Can
I
you
said,
repeat that, Sachin? I think we lost you.
I can roughly judge 12 meters. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I can roughly judge 12 meters, give or take, but
Hmm.
I don't know how crowded it is on the expressway. Like, we just have to kind of,
There'll be
eyeball
ample of
it.
space. Yeah, you have to eyeball it, and there'll be ample of space for you to be all by yourself. You
Okay.
will, and especially on the flats and the downhill. Uphills, of course, for obvious reasons, they won't say anything. But for downhills, and remember, you have uphills, but the downhills are fast. And overall, I think the cycling course is a faster course. Who all have done it before? I know Arvinder sir has done it before. He's here. Who else has done it before? PPK, you've done a practice ride with us over there. Rachna has, of course, done it. Yeah. You want to add in your idea, your experience on the cycling route?
Telling me, coach?
Yeah, you, Rachna, Arvinder sir is still there, I think. Feel free to add in.
I think that Mandvi road stretch is also a bit narrow
Hmm.
compared to the expressway. So
Yeah.
that's also another place where you can kind of cluster up to a certain extent because it's a two-way road and it's between the two rivers, right?
Yeah.
Between the rivers. So that stretch is also another place where we should be mindful of everything because there'll be a lot of overtaking that could happen on that stretch, and while the roads are narrow.
Yeah. 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 Just a point, just make sure that whenever you're on the cycling route, and when you're racing, what you need to always keep in mind is that always be aware of your surrounding. Means always be aware for somebody coming from behind. That means he's overtaking you. Overtaking is always from the right, yeah? So make sure that somebody is overtaking you. Also, there will be areas and sections where there will be head-on cyclists coming, especially in the Mandvi River thing. So make sure that you are aware of people coming from the front. So be aware of the surroundings. Don't just get into an aero position, head down, and then keep pedaling. Just make sure you are more visible to what's happening around. Yeah. Great. Rachna, anything from you on the cycling bit? You've done it a couple of times.
I have a point, Jatin.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead,
No,
sir.
Rachna, you go ahead first.
No, go ahead. You've done it
So,
three times.
so the Mandvi River also has two steep bumps,
Yeah.
and the river side does not have a guardrail. You have to be very careful of that.
Yeah.
And on your descent, again, there are speed breakers. You have to be very careful of that. If you
Yeah.
miss that, you will fly off and everything will fly off. So you have to be very careful of those speed breakers. Don't go crazy while coming down. It is very tempting. Don't do that. I have seen somebody losing a very expensive bike. He broke his front fork while doing that.
Yeah.
So be very careful of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think good points, sir. Just to add on to what you're saying, guys, just a suggestion that when you are in Goa, make sure all your bottle holders are nicely fixed and the bottles are nicely in it, in the sense they're sitting well in it. A lot of times, what happens is you go through those bumps and your bottle starts flying, your toolkit starts flying, and also be mindful that the same would have happened with other riders also, and you will find objects on the road, bottles, these cases, and they're sometimes sitting in the middle of the road. So mindful, and if there is somebody who's right ahead of you, and if he something pops out of his cycle, then it sometimes distracts you, and it can be fatal for you also. So be very, very careful on the downhill. They are sharp and they are fast, especially when you're coming to the first uphill, and when you're coming in the downhill, there's a sharp right which goes. So there we have to be really mindful, right? Great. And is there anything else from your experience? You've done it a few times.
You are absolutely right on that falling part. Last year, I dropped in my entire toolkit. I dropped my bottles.
Yeah.
So last year I added elastic laces to my water bottles at the back
Mm.
to hold it.
Yeah.
So that is one thing you guys can try doing it.
Yeah. Elastic laces, a lot of us had done double tapes so that the
Yeah.
thickness of the bottle holder is a little more, and
Yeah.
then you can sit in the bottle. I think Kanishk has done that on his side, on his
Yes.
back, this thing, and it works fine for him.
And all the fueling stations are going to be really crowded. Be
Yeah.
very careful of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, coach,
So
I have done that and that works well.
Yeah.
But for Goa, even the double tape didn't work
Yeah.
because I had done the double tape and the descent in front of the hospital
Yeah.
while you're coming back, that is very fast. And the
Yes.
speed breaker, you have to be aware. So all of you guys, when you do your recce ride, make a mental note of where the bumps are
Yeah.
so that when you're racing, you know exactly where to slow down. So in the descent in front of the hospital, that bump is very conspicuous. You won't see it.
Mm.
And my bottle went flying off in the recce ride.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for the next race, what I did with the double tape, I also added some rubber bands. I did
Yeah.
not find elastic laces, Arvinder sir told me to, but even the rubber bands work quite well.
Mm.
You just tie 3-4 rubber bands on each of the bottles, and they are fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can do a quick demo a little later so that everybody is aware in case we want to do that. We can always do that either before we go. Before we pick up that point, Rachna, I'll bring you in. Guys, a quick thing on the cycling bit, because that is the most technical. Please make sure you know your bike. When I say you know your bike means you should be by now doing outdoor rides, and small little technical snags. If your chain comes out, if your gears are not shifting properly, if the handlebars or the brakes are not fixing well, you should know these few basics to maintain your bike so that on the race, God forbid, if there is any technical glitch on the course, there are technical, support team available, but they were available for all 1,500 people. They might not be only available for you. So they might come to you later where you're just standing there waiting for them 15, 20 minutes and you don't know what to do. You're racing, heart rate is high, you're tired, you're fatigued, and suddenly when you have to fix it, you're not able to fix it. So make sure you're thorough with it. Along with that, if you are on tube tires, you know how to fix your punctures. If you do not know how to fix your punctures, please learn how to do it. We will be doing a quick workshop in Gurgaon, but if you're not here, make sure that you go to any of your neighborhood cycling shops. It doesn't take much. It takes you 10 minutes to learn. And after that, it's totally up to you how much you practice. If you know it and if you don't practice, you're just being lazy. I have seen people spoiling their races because of this. So if you're training for the last 6-8 months and if you're not trained to fix a puncture, your race is gone. So please, this is a very important aspect of the race. Basic maintenance of the bike, small little snags, how to fix your puncture. You know how to fix how to fill it up with a CO2 or electric or hand pump, whatever. Work with your coach. Make sure you know how it's done, right? I don't want to reach Goa, do a recce ride, and there's somebody telling me, Coach, I don't know how to do it. It's not going to be a time to teach you there. So we have still good 8-9 weeks, learn it. Yeah, please, it's your race, so please make sure you fix it, right? Rachna, any cycling point from you for the race?
No, Vishwat raised his hand. He did the cycling course last time. Vishwat,
Yes.
what's up?
Yeah, hi coach. I wanted to add that you don't need 4 bottles. So what I ended up doing was carrying 4 bottles on the cycling course, and I felt like that was a little too excessive. There are like they
Mm.
hand you proper bottles at the nutrition stations, so you can just carry one of theirs if you really feel you need more than 2 bottles. So I think 2 bottles should be
I
sufficient on the.
disagree, Vishwat. I would disagree with you on that. I think I would let each
Okay.
athlete to work on their own hydration strategy. If 2 works for you, 2 might not work for other people. I carry 4 because I sweat a lot and I need more. And I can vouch for a lot of athletes in this group. So my suggestion to everybody here is, guys, work with your coach, work on your fueling strategy now. We're going to cover this up in our next call, so you exactly know how much fuel to carry. Yes, idea would not be to carry a lot, so your bike is heavy. On the contrary, I don't want you to be carrying less. Ideally, I would not want you to stop at any hydration station. It should be a self-sufficient ride. You're moving on your own. If you feel with your hydration strategy, 2 are sufficient, stick to 2, but work on that, right? If you need to stop, we can stop and take the bottle. I would not recommend anybody to just cycle and snatch the bottle and keep moving, because that's something we don't practice. If you're not able to catch it properly, the next thing we know is we balance is off. And also, Goa is a race where we have a lot of first timers. So it might be that it is not you who's made a mistake, somebody else who's made the mistake, and you've not crashed into anybody, somebody's come and crashed into you. So we got to be very mindful of staying away from these crowded regions. We don't have to go to a hydration point. It gets chaotic, especially when you have a lot of first timers and they don't know what is to be done, how it's done. They're literally standing over there, chatting, filling up bottles. It is very chaotic. So stay away. Self-dependent is 90 kilometers. You've done it plenty of times in your trainings. You would be doing it from here to your race day. So you should be absolutely robotic, knowing what is to be done, and we keep moving. Yeah. So we keep, and if you're still in doubt, pick it up with your coach. Make sure that you have a strategy in place of how you're going to be fueling yourself on the race day. Right. I'm quickly going to get into transition 2. Remember, transition 2, you mount off, quickly move into your running gear. Again, transitions are not areas where you sit and eat your banana. Don't fuel. You're always on the move. So you're not going to be doing anything besides changing on the transition zone or in the transition zone, right? Once you're done, your run bit. Run bit is fun because that's the time when it gets the hottest. That's the time when it is interesting to. Okay, let me just open that file. Let me just go back to the picture. It's a fairly simple course. For people who've done this will help me out. I'm sure a lot of us have done the practice run also. It gets pretty hot, sunny. There is no shade. Make sure you get used to wearing a cap when you're running. It always helps you to, control the sun, the heat coming onto your head. Remember, Donapola ki climb kitni hai? 50 meters? Anybody? The run course? Okay.
Around 50, 60.
Around 50, 60 meters. Yeah.
The first one is steeper and the second one is slightly gradient.
Mm-hmm. So quick show. So this is how the run course is going to look like. So when you see the start, remember, this is where you got off the bike, that the big Miramar circle. So you're going to come out and start running. It's a fairly straight route. You will find a lot of spectators on your right. This is a small climb to the Donapola circle. From there, we're going to go take a ride to the Raj Bhavan, I think the Chief Minister's house, and then we're going to turn back and come back all the way to the turn point. It is a 3-lap course. So what you need to keep in mind is that every time when you turn, you know exactly the turn point. Don't try to cut short, where the route is mentioned, U-turn, please mention from there, turn from there. Last time they were giving bands, so I'm sure they will be giving you bands again, color bands like these. So these are the bands they would give. Pick up your band, keep running. We're going to do 3 loops of that. Once you finish, you move to the arch, and then you're going to be finishing off the race. There is enough hydration support on the route. There is enough fuel available on the run, means things to eat, things to drink. Again, my recommendation would be to plan your fueling strategy for the run, so you do not depend too much in terms of what you're going to eat. But yes, for water, for anything cold, for ice, for sponges, you need to be taking their help, and make sure you're getting some water sprayed and you're keeping yourself cool. Yes, they will be throwing a lot of water. There'll be mugs of water coming onto your head. Just make sure, try not to get that water in your shoes, because once that starts coming into your shoes, that's where, the blister starts coming in. So be mindful. Eventually, it will get wet, but try to keep that, water away to the minimum, so don't try to get yourself wet too much. Aid stations are plenty. Choose your gear appropriately. Start working on your gear in terms of what tri-suit you're going to be picking up, what color of the tri-suit you're going to be wearing. My recommendations would be to pick up light colors. Don't pick up a black and run in it. I had a few athletes who wanted to pick up black. They picked up black, got a little difficult last year because of the hot weather. So pick up some light thing, cap, and as simple as it gets. I know a lot of people were talking to me about wearing their hydration bags and running. It's your personal preference. If you are comfortable wearing it and running, in the end of the day, it is your race. It's nothing about fancy dress that how good or bad you're going to look like. But if it's your race and if the backpack or the hydration bag works for you, please use it. And that's how you're going to be racing. So please go ahead and start using that right away. Clear? Any questions with the run section, guys? It's a pretty flat course. It's just in the end, there is a little climb which can be easily be taken care of. We will be doing a route recce, so make sure that we kind of have a look at the exact route. People who are going for the swim camp, we will be running there on the same course, so you will get much comfortable with that. But we will try to do at least 2 runs while we are there in Goa. Yeah.
On
Any
the run
questions to do with the
course,
run and transition too?
on the run course, when you
Yes,
reach
sir.
the Raj Bhavan, you have
Yeah.
a mat on the U-turn.
Yeah.
A lot of people take a turn before on the aid station and turn back. You miss the mat.
Yeah.
Be very careful of that.
Yes. Yes, valid point, guys. Please be very, very mindful of it. We had an incident in Tallinn where one of our athletes missed out that mat. It was only, 20 meters or 30 meters. And his timing moved out and he was disqualified for 20 meters. So please be mindful of it. Do not miss any mat. Make sure you know where the U-turns are. Anything from the running plan? We're all good? Questions, anybody? Okay, great. Now, couple of things we're going to be taking it from here is, and I'm leaving that to you as your responsibility to work with your coach. First thing, I want you to be very, very mindful of your cycle, maintenance, repairing. I want you to be acing your fueling. When I say acing your fueling is what are the calories you're taking, what are the carbs you're taking, through solid, through liquid, what you're going to be eating, when are you going to be eating, how much you're going to be eating and drinking. You should know it and you should be very, very specific on it. Don't be casual ki main ye kha lunga, main wo kha lunga. Every product which you're going to be eating has a calorie count. It has a carb, how much grams of carbs it has. Work with your coach if you're not sure on it. Get on a call with him. Detailed plan. I can share an Excel sheet. We generally use that for planning. Put that over there so that you are specific on what you'll be doing. Goa is a hot and humid. The only way you can really make this race from a good race to a great race is when you know how to pace this course and when you are mastering your fueling. Both the heat and the humidity of Goa with the climbs on the cycling bit can be a killer and can really, really be deceptive to when you get off the saddle. So don't let all those things, parameters for which we know about, don't let it spoil your race, right? So ace that up, please, right? And in the end, it's all about how strong your mindset is going to be on the race day. So make sure that you are mentally dialed in, tuned in. We're going to be doing visualization when we are there. We're going to do some affirmations. We'll do all that bit once we are there, because after some time, when the weather is hot and humid, the only thing which will come is your training and how strong you're mentally and that day. These are the 2 things that are really going to be helping you over there. And there is no magic mantra. The only thing what you're going to be doing from here to the race is you're going to be training hard. And when you're racing, make sure you're racing smart, means you have your pacing strategy, your fueling strategy. You know what is to be done. Right? Now, for training here, the weather is going to get colder for all the folks in Gurgaon, especially in the northern part. So by the time we fly out to Goa, the weather is going to be slightly colder, especially in the mornings. So make sure I'm going to hand over this to Rachna, but just to make sure all your lodging and your boarding is done, you know when you're coming. Ideally, I would want you there by Tuesday, latest by Wednesday. Yeah, so that you are aware of the route, the recce, the whole weather condition is going to be hot in Goa. So make sure you have good time to acclimatize over there also. You might just go there and come there and put your feet up. Maybe bring your laptop, work from there. You're not going to be training too much over there. It's going to be a good taper off week as well, where we're going to do a couple of swims, one or two rides, very easy one or two runs. So your morning and evening would be probably half an hour, 1 hour for us. Rest the whole day will be free. So where you'll just be not sightseeing, but just resting or working from your hotel room or Airbnb, wherever you are. Yeah. Rachna, you want to quickly take through the whole logistics bit so everybody's on the same page?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everyone's booked their flight tickets till now, and as Coach said, 4th or 5th is ideal time to come in. If you, of course, are doing a relay, it depends on whether you're swimming, cycling, or running. Usually the cyclists will come in early so that they can get the cycle route, but swimmers and runners can come in a little later. So a lot of you are staying in Bloom Hotel. That's usually our meet point for all our bike setups, for all the conversations we're going to have, race briefings, everything. We will have an agenda of what we're going to be doing daily, so you're aware of it. And we always tie up with Kunal from Cyclocraze for the bike setup. Of course, a lot of you know how to set up your own bike, but you might want to do some servicing, tweaking and stuff over there. He will also bring the CO2 cartridges on a pre-order basis. So we'll do that and connect with him closer to the race. But just to let you know, for a small fee, his mechanic will come to Bloom on a specific time and help set up the bikes. Okay, so we have that arrangement. Bloom Hotel, for those of who are staying there and have put their name in, do not worry if you've not got your confirmations. The rooms are blocked as per what you have put in to the Excel sheet. Yeah, they said they will send out the confirmations closer to the date. In terms of travel logistics, also your bike bag, if you have not figured out whether you're buying, borrowing, or stealing, please do so now. Some of the bike shops do have bike bags for rent, but they're very few and far between. So like maybe 2 or 3 per shop. So please check, or then ask any of the TCI members if they have it and are willing to lend if you do not have your own. Wanted to pick up one point. Last year, we had a lot of people falling sick from food, and we were eating out a lot. So I think that's been a learning, and I think everyone should be very, very mindful of what they're eating, preferably not any sort of fish or seafood or prawns. Avoid any cut fruit and stuff. Basically, better to go for cooked food versus fresh stuff. So that's just one point I wanted to pick up because we had people who couldn't race in the end. Coach, I don't know if I missed anything.
No, I think more or less just a request, guys, when we are there during the initial taper period, that means if Tuesday, Wednesday, the idea for all of us is there for the race. I know a lot of us will be traveling there with their families. So the time you want to spend with your family is great, and do that, please. That's the downtime for all of us. When there are team briefings, team activities, make sure you're available because it's your race. And all these activities are being done so that you optimize, the knowledge and the support structure you have. So be there on time. In the end, it's an athlete's responsibility to make the most of it with the support given. Rachna and I are there as a support. Vishwesh and Abhay are racing, so they will be busy with their own races. So both of us will be handling it. It will be very, very difficult for us to be chasing you over there. So make sure you are there for the briefings. That time might not be the best time to go and do sightseeing a lot. So spend that downtime because I want you fresh for the race I don't want you fatigued, not because of the training, but because of moving around in the heat. So please make sure you're available for all those activities on time. Again, important point Rachna picked up. We had a lot of people falling sick, but make sure you're going from a cold weather to a hot weather. So try not just being in the sun too much. Little bit of acclimatization is required. Spend time doing that as well. And try not to experiment anything during that week. We stick to the basics. We stick to what we do every day. We stick to the basic food, what we've been eating. Don't try to try out fancy foods once you're there in Goa. We can do anything and everything once your race is over. Once you have your medal in your neck, after that, you can do anything what you want. Nobody's going to stop you, right? Just make sure you're aware of it. Yeah. All right. Quick one. Kanishk, sorry, I had Manish before you. Manish, you had your hand up.
Yes, coach. So
Please
I had
go.
a question on the bike course, and it
Yeah.
might sound trivial. So with respect to drifting, my understanding is that you cannot be behind someone within 12 meters of distance. But what if we are spread across the breadth of the road? So for example, someone is riding on the left and I'm riding on the middle, and we do not have 12 meters of gap between us, or I'm riding on the right side of the road.
Ideally,
Is that
what you would do on the road is that you would try to stay together, because the right side of the road is where people overtake you. Okay, so you will have a
Okay.
lot of faster riders crossing from there. So my recommendation would be that if you want to ride also, try not staying on the right side, because you will have riders overtaking you, to stay on the left. Yeah. And again, it is the marshal's decision to tell you whether you're drafting or not. Of course, this is not drafting when you're here and the other guy is here. This is not drafting. There's enough gap. Don't leave anything in being ambiguous. Just stay away. Just stay away or overtake him. Yeah. A marshal can act funny, can be there, and the worst part is you cannot argue with the marshal. So I would say either you
Right.
overtake or you slow down, stay away. Yeah. Don't even give him a chance. Yeah.
Sure, coach. That is helpful. Yes. Thank you, coach.
Yeah. Thanks. Kanish.
Hi, coach. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to understand if there is any tentative date for the group Reiki ride, so I can, book my flights accordingly.
I think generally we do it on the Thursday and the Friday, because I know there are a
Okay.
few Thursday for sure. So when I say Thursday, it is the 6th, because I know
Yeah.
there are some latecomers also. And then just a handful would go on a Friday also. That is the 7th. So 6th and 7th, there will be. Idea would be not to duplicate. That means not to send people again. But I would want all of us to be riding on the 6th. Yeah, by 7th and 8th, it gets really busy. A lot of riders starts coming in, and traffic, you know how it is. It's really chaotic. So I think
Yeah.
6th should be a good date for us to do a recce.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you planning to bring your bike?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, good.
Coach, I just wanted to pick up the point Manish said.
Yeah.
That is a yellow card penalty. It's called blocking. If you're riding on the right-hand side of the
Yeah.
road without passing and moving to your left, it is a yellow card penalty.
Oh, thank you, coach.
Guys, I think a point I missed out, especially for this. Your swimming cutoff is 70 minutes. Then I am looking at your swim and bike. Total is 5.5 hours cutoff time. If you do not meet this, then you will not be allowed to run. They also have an intermediate cutoff time for the cycling. I think at the
And run.
turn at the Zuari, what is it right now? Do you remember? I think it's 4.5.
68 kilometers is the intermediate cutoff. At
Yeah.
68 kilometers, they give you a particular time that you have to cross that 68 kilometers.
Yeah.
And that is also for the run at 14 kilometers. You have to have crossed it. And that
Yeah.
time is announced in the guide beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah, they will announce that. So ideally, the whole idea is that they block the main expressway. So they want to open it, and also at the same time they know that if you have not met the time at this particular kilometer with your cutoff, you're not going to make out the 5.5 hours. So they stop you there itself. So then there will be probably a sweeper, and they'll put your bike in it, and they'll bring you back. Great. Okay, so great, guys. We have about good 8 weeks for the race before we start reaching Goa. make sure we start working on a gear, we're finalizing our fueling. We're going to talk about fueling next week, but make sure you start working on your gear, your swimming goggles, your helmet, your cycling gear. Start zeroing in what you need, so that when you go out on all your trainings, all your practices, you start utilizing and using those equipments. So you're not using something brand new on the race day, right? So make sure you're very comfortable with all your gear. Saying that, any other questions, anybody, guys? Wanted to keep it very simple, very basic. Sometimes, all the magic is in keep making sure that we are aware of the basics. And if you still have any questions, feel free to reach back to me. But if you have anything right now, we can ask here, or we can get back later on. So anybody, anything now? Super. Okay. Enjoy yourself, guys. Thank you very much for your timing. Keep training hard. Cannonball is around the corner. So if you're swimming, make sure you cover up your volume. And I'm going to see you, I think most of us, next Sunday swimming at CA. Otherwise, keep training, guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, coach. Thank you,
Thank
coach.
you.
Thank you.
Coach. Thank you.